Hey up everybody, Magpie Gaming here, and in this video we're going to talk about No Man's Sky and the recent patch 1.5, which was the new update called the Next Update. And it's fair to say that this update has resurrected No Man's Sky like the proverbial phoenix out of the flames. The game has bounced back and is in the spotlight once again. But is what they have done with this update enough to gain redemption from the fans? Well, we're going to talk about that later in the video. But first of all, we're going to go through what this update actually brings to the table. So for this update we are getting the full multiplayer experience, and I'm going to read some of this from the actual official update blog that they've put on their website. And they say for multiplayer you can team up as a small team of friends and explore the universe together, or be joined by random travellers. You can help friends to stay alive or prey on others to survive. Tiny shelters or complex colonies that you build as a team are shared for other players. Fight as a pirate or as a wingman in epic space battles with friends and enemies. Race exocraft across alien terrains, creating racetracks and trails to share online. And there's new character customization allows you to personalise your overall experience. Now these are things that were asked for. Well, they've been asked for a long time. Some of these things were actually promised in the full release of the game, which is over 2 years ago now. Or is it over 2 years? I think it's around 2 years ago anyway. And yeah, I like these changes. It looks good. Now, I haven't actually experienced the game for myself with the new update. I downloaded it earlier today, played a couple of minutes of the game, but I didn't have time to get into it. But I've been watching a friend's stream and it does look really good. I like the look of it. I think it was one of the experiences that really let people down that wasn't in the original game. They wanted the ability to play alongside somebody. They wanted the ability to have co-op within the game and play together. And when the original game launched, it was okay. It wasn't a bad game, but what was said to be in the game wasn't there, and ultimately that's what led a lot of people to give bad reviews, just to walk away from the game completely. And yeah, they're now giving us some of the things that we wanted back then. So, visual overhaul. The game is fully playable in third or first person, both on foot and in the ship. That's a good bonus. It's a good added thing to the game. Third person perspective I think suits this type of game more than the first person does. Planetary rings and improved space visuals make space more beautiful than ever. Dramatically improved planetary terrain generation, ground textures, water and clouds bring the environment to life. Significantly more detail added to ships, NPCs and buildings. There's unlimited base building now. Bases can now be built anywhere on any planet. Dramatically increased base building complexity and size limits. Hundreds of new base parts, and you can own multiple bases rather than just one. And you can command freighters. Assemble and upgrade a fleet of frigates and command them from the bridge of your freighter. Send your fleet out into the universe or deploy them to help you as you explore a specific system. Improved freighter base building allows a truly custom capital ship. Invite your friends aboard and take on challenging multiplayer missions from the Galactic Commission Station on your bridge. So yeah, some amazing changes made to the game. Gonna take a while for people to wrap their head around the amount of things that you can do within the game. And Sean Murray has come out and admitted that they haven't been that open with the community, or they haven't been as open as they should have been. Says from now on there will be regular updates to the games. We will know exactly what's happening with the game. We'll know what's coming, what we're going to get, what's being updated, what's being fixed. Going to be a lot more transparency with the game, and the ultimate question is, will this bring players back? Will this earn them redemption, like I said, for a lot of the players that originally bought into this game for the things that were meant to be in it back then and are now only getting added nearly 2 years on? Question for that is up for discussion. I really don't know. For me personally, it's made me download it again and try it again, and I like it visually. It looks a lot better. I think there's obviously a lot more to do in the game. It's maybe got a little bit more complex for new players coming into the game, so I can see there being guides and things like that spring up all over YouTube and the internet to show people how to get into the game. But I think it's a good change. This 1.5 patch is definitely what was needed to kickstart this game, and it's almost like the game has been in a beta for 2 years and we've now got the full release. So, you know, we've had a bit of early access, but now we've got the full release. And this has also been shown in Steam, in the Steam statistics. They've now got a mixed score with all the reviews aggregated, so that's good. They've come up. They're no longer, I think it was not very positive before, but they are now got mixed reviews. And there's actually more people playing the game at the moment right now than there was 2 weeks after the launch of the game back 2 years ago. So I think that's really good, and it's good from my personal point of view. I'm glad to see this doing okay. Hello Games and Sean Murray took a lot of criticism after this game launched because of the things that were missing, because of the things that Sean Murray himself specifically went on video and promised would be in the game, and they wasn't there. He was asked would there be multiplayer, he said yes, and there wasn't. He was asked about several other things, and I got the feeling that watching some of the interviews with him that he was kind of put on the spot, and he was like, these things were probably planned for the game, they were probably maybe testing them at the time, but they just wasn't ready enough to put them out there. So I think some of the criticism that Hello Games got was very justified, but I also think some of it should have been aimed elsewhere as well. Sony decided to take this game on, and even though it wasn't a PlayStation exclusive, they took it on and they did a lot of the advertisements for it. They pushed this game, and I feel like they pushed Hello Games into a bit of a corner, and I think it was wrong of them to do that. They were showing a game that really couldn't deliver on the things that it said it could. So I felt a bit sorry for them, but we have the game that we wanted back then right now. And this coincides with the release on the Xbox. I think that releases on the 27th of this month, so if I get this video up today, that will be tomorrow. If I get the video up tomorrow, then it's come out today for the Xbox, so it's across all platforms now, which is good. For cross-play between the platforms, I aren't too sure about that one. We all know Sony's stance on cross-play at the moment, so it could be that you can cross-play between a PC and an Xbox, and vice versa, and maybe with people, I was going to say the Switch then, but it ain't on the Switch, is it? This could be a game that might come to the Switch at some point now. I don't really have any news on that at the moment, but I might have to do some digging on that. But yeah, it's across all the platforms now, all the major platforms anyway, and it's good to see. I'm glad to see this game starting to get some of the success that it was looking for previously, but never quite got. Now they've issued a patch for the game, and this is patch 1.51. This has been released today. It is a 1.3 gigabyte patch, as Steam is showing me right now, and it fixes a number of issues that were brought about by patch 1.5. As always, these big patches always tend to cause some issues, so I'm going to go through some of the things that have been fixed. They fixed an issue where players who saved after partially repairing some items of technology would be unable to load that saved game. Please note that if the game has not been resaved, then progress has not been lost and will be recovered. Fixed a crash caused by memory corruption. Fixed a number of memory leaks. Fixed an issue where players would be unable to warp during the antimatter stage of the tutorial. Fixed an issue where the cockpit of some ships would continually open and close. Fixed a crash when multiple players put ammunition into a refiner. Fixed a potential crash in geometry streaming. Improvements to texture caching for AMD GPUs. Fixed an issue where players were unable to build frigate terminals in creative mode. Improved the mapping of old substances to new substances during the save upgrade. Please note this does not apply to retroactively to save games that have been upgraded. Now I've just skipped through them there. There are a lot of fixes here. It's good to see these fixes coming through. It's good to see quite comprehensive patch notes as well. As people that follow me will know, I like to have detailed patch notes. And I always get on the backs of people that don't put out detailed patch notes or change things that are never even mentioned in the patch notes. Escape from Tarkov. So anyway, we've got some good patches there, some good fixes. So yeah, as I say, it's good to see this game actually doing well for a change. It's nice to see those at Hello Games getting the recognition that they deserve for this game. I know that a lot was aimed at Sean Murray, but you've got to remember that there's a whole team behind him, and some of those people didn't deserve the criticism that was levelled at them. They was obviously doing the best that they could do with the time scale that they had, and it's just took them a while to get to the point where they're able to give us the game that we all wanted and were promised in the beginning. So yeah, it's really good to see this game succeeding. Will it bring me back in? I think it will, but I'm probably just going to be a casual player. I don't think I'm going to be really into the multiplayer kind of thing. I did like the game to begin with, that you could just fly around and do your own thing, and it was very relaxing. It wasn't a game that thrust you into combat and puts you in crappy situations that you got to fight out of. It was just a nice leisurely jaunt through the solar system, and you was just able to do your own thing, and I really enjoyed that. So I am looking forward to doing more of this game. Looking forward to seeing what else they will add to this game as it goes along. And I think at the moment it's half price in some places. I think that might be different by the time this video gets uploaded. But yeah, it's doing well. They've pushed it hard with this update and it's doing well, so I'm really glad to see that. I'm going to be covering the updates as they come out from now on. This was a game that originally I wanted to cover a lot with my channel, but when the game came along I realised that it wasn't really going to give me, you know, the kind of video views that I would like. That think, you know, the interest for it just waned instantly. So, but I'm going to try and keep up with it and do the update videos for it, so as and when the updates come along I will do a video for them. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.